All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Princes of Azemar, Season 5, Episode 11, The Mists of Azai. Ooh.
11!
Who's
All
I?
right. Let's start with a round of intros. In the top left, played by Lily and Alex, they are the twin blacksmith fighters. They're the Eldridge brothers. You've probably heard of them. In the top right, played by our friend and Brandon. You can't hit him. He's too smart. It's Barnum Shortwick.
Woo!
In the bottom
I
left,
love that intro.
played by Bobby, the warlock with more vices than virtues. It is Quaros Ravenrock.
I'm actually nice.
And
a
last
goat.
but not least, played by our friend Lincoln, it is the fashion dragon himself, formerly known as Dirt Courage, Nadam Ilrio Nazir.
Yeah!
Nicole will not be joining us tonight, though she typically plays Irina, the paladin of Ilmater, with an evil twin. So she will not be joining us tonight, but evil Irina will still have her plots and plans move along.
Can we give Evil Arena a goatee?
I mean,
That's like the sign of the evil.
He's got the
twin,
evil
right?
scar.
Yeah,
on
the
his
that's,
eyeball
that's how you know
scar,
someone's
you know?
from the mirror universe.
He needs a mustache also, of some kind.
I feel like there might be other viable symbols that someone's from the Mirror Universe.
No. Evil Pharaoh totally has a mustache, and Evil Arena obviously has a goatee.
I think that's really good for your facial hair.
alrighty. So, when we last left the party, high level, y'all were on your way from Angate, where you had kicked the orcs out of the city and taken it back. And while they were wintering and repairing at Angate, you all were traveling east and north to the capital of the old empire, to Azai, for two reasons. One, to convince the emperor to lend his troops and forces, the red mages, to help in the battle against the orcs to take back West Azemar. And two, to make a quick pit stop in Isik, the sister city to Azai, where your old friend, Theo's girlfriend, Esmeralda, has brought your family from your native plane here to the plane of Azemar. She left a little earlier than she was supposed to and sort of got stuck in her plane of
Yeah,
customs.
she didn't follow directions. They were like, "Don't go yet," and she was like, "But I'm bored," and so she went. And then there was war, and she got kidnapped. So I kind of feel like that's on her.
So yeah,
Seems fair, to be honest.
that
Follow directions.
is the high level of what's going on. At the medium level, you guys are in the town of Daristan, the city of Daristan, rather. A little more than halfway there. What were you saying?
I was going to ask if our fortress is, in fact, Daristan's instant fortress. Like, are they all here like, I wish we had our instant fortress back. We loved that thing.
Daristan is actually the name of a dragon, so...
Yeah, did this dragon have an instant fortress?
I mean, he must have, and it must have somehow made it to Barovia at some point. Came under Strahd's possession.
Yo.
And now there's just a cube missing. There's a laws about not building anything
Is the
there in case it
dragon going to
comes
come
back.
looking for his instant fortress?
I
Because
really
Dragon
hope
was
not, because
defeated
I'm not
thousands
giving
of
it
years
back.
ago.
It's amazing, and it saved our
okay,
ass a
that's
lot.
really comforting to know.
Maybe Daristan's instant fortress is just like a single fortress that is constantly moving, and the dragon's just always following it, and it's it's like the snail but way scarier.
Anyways, on the micro level, you all had gone to Ogma's House of Knowledge in Daristan to try and see what you guys could find out about the Empire, about Kuaya and the Nine Deserts, about Tartosha and Thargassia, all sorts of things. And you guys each got to ask a series of questions based on your intelligence investigation roll. Bobby, go ahead and give me an intelligence investigation roll for Quaros right now, because you were not here last week.
Word.
For every 5
I was
points,
not
you
here.
get a question.
Oh, man.
Do better than we did.
Let me set my drop down. Eh? You see me think of that
Good
before
call.
my first roll
Let
for
me-
once?
Wait, does
Reset
that
the
mean he
timers.
gets advantage on wisdom?
All right, 11. So you get 2 questions. So I'm going to go over real quick about what everyone else's questions were. So Irina
Okay.
asked for basic info about Isik and for the origin of the Red Mages. Eridan asked
Okay.
for economic consequences following the loss of the Western territories, following the loss of Kuaya and anything about the Calamity. and then to find out
Okay.
if the empire was still suffering food shortages. Nadam asked if there was ever a mage or arcane circle uprising or coup. There's so many typos in my
Okay.
notes. Bernum asked where has the empire waged war, specifically most recently, but even a little further back. And then how do the red mages identify each other? Clothes, ranks, etc.
Right.
Didn't somebody have a question remaining?
Bernum did.
I did. I
Theo
forgot.
asked, why did Kuaya fall? What caused the calamity? What happened to
What's
all the
Kuaya?
cities there and the people who were there? Kuaya is now the 9 deserts.
Okay, got it. Sorry.
And when it was Kauai, it was like a city, a region. It was a separate country.
What is Kauai? One of your questions.
Kuaya literally means 9 kingdoms.
So now it's 9 deserts. That makes sense. Okay. Word.
What happened to the cities there and the people there? And then Theo's last question, what was Kuaya like before?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if it was like deserted now or like what happened.
I also wanted to, and I can give this to all y'all before you pick your questions, Goros, because last week I tried to answer a bunch of these questions without my notes. I wanted to go over the answers to these questions again, and also give you guys a brief history on the founding of Azemar. Sort of.
Ooh,
Man,
exposition.
I love
Dick, you need
history.
to go sit in front of the fire.
Is it
Hold
like
up,
they have like the visitor center at the national park, and they're like, in 5 minutes, the video on the history of Azemar will be starting.
Long ago, the dragons ruled over a series of city-states, taking the
Are there
lesser
pictures?
Loving
races
it.
as slaves.
Are there pictures?
We're following along on the tapestry.
Everyone is giving
the
Nadam dirty looks while they're talking about the lesser races and dragons. I'm just saying.
What, you are? Like, I like you guys. It's cool.
All right. Where was I? The elves of the city of Eucalyptos worked in the mines deep beneath the city. There, they met the drow, who helped them to realize they could have their freedom from the dragons. The drow and the high elves banded together and defeated the dragon Eucalyptos, taking the city for themselves. They named the city Azai, meaning unchained. They established a republic to govern the city, and the Senate would meet each half of the year. And the Senate would meet half of the year above ground and half of the year below. During each season, the Senate would elect a high elf or drow leader, known as the Irin Tal Ka, or leader for a season. Meanwhile, the Arcane Circle established themselves in the nearby city of Isik, after throwing off their dragon leader, and allied with Azai. Isik agreed to submit to the governance of Azai in exchange for the use of the mages as a peacekeeping force, and Azai would subscribe to the Davros laws, strictly controlling the use of magic and ensuring the mages a steady supply of new magic users. Centuries later, the Dusk Elves arose from the Far East and came to Azai, quickly becoming an important political force. The Dusk Elves were strong proponents of the Davros laws, and believed that the dragons that still controlled other cities must be defeated. The Senate elected Varathas, leader of the Dusk Elves, as Irin Tal Ka, and formed an army to march south and defeat the dragons. As the war dragged on beyond the season, the Senate granted emergency powers to Varathas, electing him Irin Tal Kia, or leader for seasons, plural. The dragons were defeated, and Varathas ceded his powers back to the Senate. Some freed cities joined the Republic of Azai, such as Kezki. Others were eager to establish their independence or forge other local alliances. Varathas and the armies of Azai impressed upon the newly freed cities the importance of the Davros laws to keep further calamity at bay. But yet, only a century later, many of the freed cities were openly practicing magic, inviting disaster. The Dusk Elves made another vie for power, and again Varathas took the title of Irin Tal Kia, leading a powerful force southward to forcibly join the free cities with Azai. Varathas named these new united free cities Azemar, or Unchained Empire. After uniting the once independent city-states under one banner, Varathis refused to cede his power back to the Senate. Given his immense popular support and success, he kept the title of Irin Talkia, whose modern meaning and usage is equivalent to emperor.
Replay.
Nice.
Well, pretty good.
The next brief history of the founding of Azemar will begin in 10 minutes.
All right, let's go.
That was pretty good.
All right, that is useful background.
Wait, is anybody here an elf? No.
I'm a half elf.
Well, you're a goat now. You're a half goat. That's what you are.
That's
All right.
You're gonna be
ask Cora.
2 halves.
I'll be like, hey, how long do
Math.
elves live anyway? How was this guy able to be ring Kia whatever?
you've just never met an elf before, or they live hundreds of years.
Really? Like, actually?
No, it's a myth. We make it up to sound better.
All right, that makes more sense.
That really sounds like something Emerald would do.
I feel like if you live that long, you get so bored. You know?
There are a lot of ways you can entertain yourself, as it turns out.
Elves live like
Fair enough.
750 years.
It's a really long time, bitch.
Which is really some bullshit, because I'm only going to get like 200 at most.
Probably.
Stop selling your soul.
Anyway,
No, I had to keep selling my soul so I can live longer.
quick review of everyone's questions, answers to everyone's questions. So for Arena, basic info about Seek, city where the mages started, right? We heard of that in the thing. Origin of the Red Mages, we got that in the history. Basic info about Seek, it's a coastal city, looks like Morocco. More when you go there. Eridan, you had think about economic consequences following the loss of the Western Territories. Not a ton. The Western and Eastern Territories are fairly economically separate. Certain trade industries suffered, but on the whole, everything was fine. Loss of Kuaya. They were the breadbasket of the old empire. Bad shit from that. Lots of food shortages since. The Dom, ever a mage or arcane circle uprising or coup. The Dusk Elves returning and then becoming the Emperor, that whole thing. You know that the Arcane Circle was highly involved in bringing the Dusk Elves back, parading them around, and building popular support. Yes, Lily?
I had a follow-up question to Eridan's questions answered.
Mhm.
With the food shortages, was there also a significant population dip? Like, did a lot of people die?
There has been a population dip, but not a huge one.
I'm wondering how many people starved.
Could possibly just be less babies.
That's kind of I don't know. I'm curious
On that
how
order.
bad it was.
It was bad, really bad for the first decade or so, and then Thargassia was able to, sort of
Supplement.
supplement and account for the
Right.
difference.
I guess I'm wondering about its place in cultural memory.
Just much less prosperity since then.
Mhm.
Where's the Empire waged war recently? So they haven't waged war anytime particularly recently. You only have to go back about 1,000 years, 1,200 years, to get to when they fought the dwarves. When the dwarves built the bridge, came over here, they kicked their asses, all of that. In those last 1,200 years, there's been a few minor battles here and there, but no major wars. How do the Red Mages identify each other? We covered this last week, but the blue robes means you're a member of the Arcane Circle. Red robes means you're just a mage of the Arcane Circle. And they have various tattoos and markings that change when they use the Hydrolon Dark, but that indicate their role.
Oh man, I forgot about Hydrolon Dark.
Why did Kuaya fall? Lots of theories. Most theories point to they must have been doing some sort of evil magic, because calamities are always caused by unregulated magic.
And there was that one kooky book.
Yes. The cities there, many of them were destroyed. The people, some people still live there, but it's been a sort of a bloody age in Kuaya since. What was Kuaya like before? Mostly humble farming town, cities and things that just produced tons of food, and that's pretty much it. Most people, they were pretty secluded and isolated. They're not really big fans of outsiders, and really there wasn't much to go see anyway. But you did find that one book by this kooky dude who claimed that all of Kuaya was an illusion, and that really behind it there was this fascinating reality warping, mind-bending magic They would use this insane magic for the most mundane things, to make water flow uphill and all sorts of crazy things. All right, Koros, you got 3 questions.
Okay. Like 3 questions. Damn.
Or 2
All right,
questions. Sorry,
well,
you got 11.
I
2.
was gonna say 2. So I thought it was 2. Well, you guys asked a lot of like high level, broad sweep of history questions. What does the Emperor want for personally?
That's not something you could find in a library.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, he's been around a long time, though, right?
Yes.
You could look at what like his recent alliances are and where he spent time and resources.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, I want. Let me see. How do I phrase that? I
You want to know what
want.
this bitch cares about.
Yeah, I want
Right?
like recently, 100, 200 years. Let me phrase it slightly different then. Like, what have his policy priorities been? I guess in the last couple hundred years, which I guess is getting back to like macro level stuff, but maybe there's something in there.
All right, so yeah, so roughly 100 years ago is when the calamity occurred in Kuaya.
Okay.
So most of the emperor's policies and big political decisions in the last 100 years have been things to sort of re-stabilize the empire after losing the breadbasket, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
The policy that Thargassia would become the new breadbasket, movement of funds, increases of taxes in other areas to support the conversion of swampland in Thargassia to farmland, to build ships to transport this food upstream to Lacalian and to Jezero, these sorts of things.
Sounds not ideal.
What?
It sounds not easy.
No, not easy at all. Diverting a lot of money and then mages and magical power to Thargassia, and then sort of also doing a lot of things to prevent rebellion in Thargassia. Right, like this has been pretty shitty for the peasants, and they've been doing a pretty good job the last 100 years keeping the peasants just happy enough, or just miserable enough, but without enough resources to do anything about it.
Okay.
Other than that, most recently, you can find some articles about the war in the West, the orcs attacking, that sort of thing. That after a series of really bad losses to the orcs and breaking of their supply lines, they pulled out their forces from Isari, the far side of the bridge. They couldn't get, as far as you can tell, they couldn't get the Hydrolon Dark across the bridge. It was just getting intercepted by orcs, and so they pulled the mages out and they just sort of gave up on their colony out there in Isari.
Okay.
And there's news about how the Emperor's son was lost in Isari. That
Right.
he was one of the mages stationed out there in Isari, and that he did not make it back.
I remember that. Okay.
But we know that that's Emerald.
Yes.
And if you remember that Casimir guy from Barovia,
Yeah. No, I know.
that's his dad.
All right. So that's interesting. What was Isari's primary contribution to the empire?
You have that map, Jake.
Yeah.
Jake's Googling it.
No, I was just writing down the question. So Isari was a colony.
Yep.
So there was trade in spices and goods that are otherwise not available here in Azemar on the main continent.
Hashtag spices and silk.
Yep, spices and silk, that sort of thing. Gold. Isari was a fairly rich nation. Lots of mines in those mountains up there. The dwarves lived out there in Isari, so precious metals. And
Sure.
also, officially, the empire itself doesn't engage in slave trade, but there was a slave trade that various groups in West Azemar and in Thargassia that would engage in across there.
Okay. So nothing necessarily of like critical strategic importance, a la the breadbasket that was destroyed.
No, exactly. Which is why they were willing to drop it.
It was the spice basket. Spice cabinet?
Which sounds tasty, but
Spice rack.
Okay. All right, that was my 2. That
I
makes
mean,
sense.
its value also depends how much it's like Britain. Like, has anybody ever had British food? Why do you think they had to go get spices? Let's be real. So, it could be really valuable, depending on the context. Brandon is amused. He seems amused.
All right.
I feel
With
like we
that-
learned a lot at the research session, and I'm really glad this focus group was brought together. So, thank you all for coming to this.
All right. So you've now learned a lot about the history of Azemar. It's really dry, boring beginning of the session. History class. Now, you guys told me that you wanted to steal some spell books.
Woo! Random does. I
There
want
is
to
a restricted section.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
like a little restricted section. I'm bundling
You
up.
can see there's actually a couple different restricted sections.
Okay.
You're not really able to tell like which one is the most restricted. But basically,
Wait. Oh no, that was Pharaoh.
at each
I was like,
restricted
Pharaoh has that eyeball.
At each restricted section area, there is a gate keeping that area shut, and 2 red mages standing on either side of the gate, guarding the gate at each of these restricted sections.
Is there any sign on each section that indicates what it's for, that area? Or is it just like
No.
restricted 1, restricted 2?
They are unlabeled.
Uh,
You're expected
can
to just
I-
know. If you're supposed to be there, you would know.
What if I'm looking for like memory loss books because I forgot?
Can I?
Just SOL.
I'm tempted to go up to one of them and be like, "What are you doing?" Like,
Mess with the Buckingham Palace guard.
no, like not even. Just be like, "Why are you?"
Look, wait for the
standing-
red mages.
So are they're all within sight of one another, right? Like they can see each other and stuff.
Not all of them, but yeah, like roughly.
These things aren't. Yeah.
Like
okay.
there's like a main hallway where there's one on the left and one on the right, and then you go further back into some books, and in the back there's one on the left and one on the right, and then you go upstairs to this other area, and there's like 2 on the left and 2 on the right. Like they're scattered around the library in a couple different places.
This city also subscribes to the Davros laws, right?
Yes.
But there are like temples where magic's kind of used, isn't there?
So there is a distinction in the Davros laws between divine and arcane magic. So divine magic, okay, fine, limited quantities, don't get too powerful, or the mages will come asking questions. Arcane magic must be authorized by the mages, authorized, restricted, and controlled. Because that's the shit that causes calamities.
Can I?
Gods
Oh,
also
calamities
cause
do be
calamities,
bad.
but you can't really control the gods.
It's sort of harder to deal with. They're just gonna do that.
Can I go up to one of them and be like, "Hey, I'm looking for Thargassian cooking. Is that this way?" And like, look like I'm gonna go to the gate.
One of them holds out his hand in like a stop motion.
Oh, I stop.
And they say, "This is not where you want to go.
Oh, what's down there?
Restricted."
So, like how to build chains and walls and stuff.
The librarian is on the first floor. They can help you.
Oh, great. Thanks. You don't know where Thargassian cooking is off the top of your head, right?
No.
All right. I'm trying to make this.
I wanted him to be like a secret cooking buff and be like, 3rd floor.
But the other mage does whisper to you. 3rd floor.
I'm trying to make this stew. I heard about.
And then the
It's
first
got, like,
mage
3
glares at the
days.
second one, and the second one, like, gets really upright.
I'm just like, cool. And I'm,
But see, now you have to actually go to the 3rd floor and look at the cookbook.
I go to the 3rd floor and I look for the cookbook on Thargassian cooking. I'm trying to find out how to make this 3-fish stew.
You find a good recipe for Thargassian 3-fish stew.
Great. I write it down. I copy it onto something.
There's a large debate between the Ceylonese 3-fish stew and the Thargassian 3-fish stew, and which one's better.
God, it's clam chowder all over again.
Yeah, one is cream based and one is tomato based.
Right.
And the cream based one is better.
All right.
All right, I've got 2 plans. That didn't seem to work.
Worked for Theo. He's got a great recipe now.
That's I suppose we could leave with just the recipe, but I'd appreciate the scrolls.
That's fair. I just wanted to see how touchy they would be.
The first plan is simple, but it might not work. I can make my friend here run around with some books and tell them that they're from one of the restricted sections, and he'll run around and make a ruckus, and when they catch him, they'll have to put it back.
Have you shown us Stash yet?
He came out, or oh shoot, I don't know if people probably didn't.
Not
see
everyone
that.
followed.
I didn't realize. You just said my friend here and then gestured at like part of your body, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I probably would still say the exact same thing.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, he's a wizard, whatever, they're weird.
Yeah, actually, my bag of holding like rustles a little bit when I say that, and then they'll have to put the book back. The problem is, if they realize it's not really a restricted book, they won't do it. The other plan is much better, but it uses magic. It's the exact same plan, but with illusions.
But with magic.
I feel like this place probably has dumb like magic detection stuff, and they'll be like, "Oh, woo, if we try to do that." I don't know. It's like my feeling.
That's Ogma's house.
And what if we get caught?
That's not that bad.
I don't think we'll get caught.
Of course, and I went through it.
We've never been caught before.
I don't want to.
Of course,
be
we were
caught.
caught 3 days ago.
We have not been caught in the last 3 days.
That was
I feel like
much
that's
more
not
than 3 days
bragging
ago,
rights,
but yes.
guys.
Okay. Third plan, better than. Wait, does this work? Yes. Third plan, same as the first 2,
But with...
we tell them the book it's running around with is casting a curse, and I use a curse and frighten them.
These plans are getting dramatically worse.
Nadam disagreed with this plan so much he just left.
He just failed on the whole party.
Let me put it a different way.
Well,
Do
fine
you
then.
know how much time are you gonna need in the restricted section? Like, how many? Do you know what scrolls you're looking for?
If it's on paper and looks arcane, I'm going to take it. I don't need to read them. Here.
Okay, so you're not like picky.
We have an invisibility cloak.
I mean, I can just cast invisibility.
Do we?
We can totally just cast invisibility.
Like
That's also
that's
magic.
actually not hard.
And then we can find out if they have a magic detector. And it's only Chorus
That's
on the line.
really not the way you'd want to find that out, but I'm listening.
Probably have an invisibility detector of some sort.
Anyway, like, this is genuinely not the worst idea in the world. If you guys are down, play along.
It feels unwise to me, but if
Yeah,
anyone
like
thinks he needs spells,
it's risky.
extremely.
All right, let's make a different plan, or not a different plan, a follow-up plan. Once we have the shit, then what?
Run like the Dickens, I believe is the phrase.
I would like to scout the building on this 3rd floor where I found my recipe and look for exits, such as.
What will we do? Will we just leave Darenstan and not come back?
I mean, you're heading.
Just passing through anyway, right?
Yeah.
If I handle the destruction and you handle the stealing, maybe there will be no problem. Invisible
right.
man goes in, invisible comes out. You get it.
And,
I roughly get it.
and Aridin and I can watch some exits.
Look, you know me. I'm obviously never opposed to stealing anything.
He's not.
All right, let's do it.
Not even curse things. I'm gonna watch exits and do a sweep for exits other than the one we came in before this gets rolling.
There's a few different exits.
All right, it's good.
Staircase over here, a back door over there. It's a library. It's not like a secure
Is there, like,
location.
An emergency exit. It's a fire escape on the outside of the building from the 3rd floor.
Yes.
Oh, great, amazing. Cool. Well, I'll watch that and like one other exit. Aridin, you want to watch some exits?
I was thinking I could like get ready to cause a distraction. Like I could find like an area of books that are like really worthless, like autobiographies of like failed actors or something that no one cares about, and I can like have a match like ready.
Oh,
It'll work as a distraction. They'll put
We
it out.
have comms, so if we need it, maybe we signal you.
Yeah, smoke signal. Got it.
We're all gonna die. All right, let's do it.
all right. You've got your tinderbox
Dom,
ready.
Do you want to roll, or are you feeling good?
What do you need?
I don't know what we need. Maybe watch the other exits because I can probably only see 2 exits at once.
So
I
Theo
guess
will
I'll
watch.
be ready to jump in.
Theo will watch the back stair, and the Dom will be by the main stairs, the big,
And
front area.
I want to say for the record, I don't love this either, but I like supporting my magic bitches because I hate other magic bitches. So, yeah,
All right,
that's my policy.
Burnham and Quaros.
All right.
All right, I'm going to start by taking Stash out of the bag.
Really glad you didn't say taking your pants off. Anyway, go on.
I
All right,
removed my pants.
and all
Stash
6
is
of
my
his
penis.
legs kind of crawl down, and he starts like looking around, and I'm like, pick up. I'm looking around for like a nice ornate book or something. I'm sure I can find one at the library.
Put on your robe and wizard hat.
All right.
It's in the bag also.
All right, sorry. So you're gonna send Stash into the restricted section.
No.
No,
I'm
just
gonna give Stash a book.
Nearby, whichever restricted section we choose to
You've got one. It's
Burglarized.
the one that is like the most isolated. The hardest to see from the other ones. It's about halfway between the 2 exits. And so,
at 8. Run around, make some noise.
so Stash is gonna cause a distraction.
And then I'm going to oh wait, shit! Can I? What is
I
it?
can cast invisibility if that's what you need.
Yeah, you should do that. For
You guys, I
I
want
will
to
cast
be
invisibility.
very clear about the space. There is a gate that is in this, like there's an archway, and there's an iron gate in there that
Does the
fills
gate
the
take up
archway.
the whole area?
It fills
The
the
gate, I'm
entire
sure-
archway.
Okay, so you
Okay.
can't jump it or go under it.
Correct. It would have
What
to
does
be
the
opened.
lock mechanism look like?
It looks like there's a little there's an iron gate, and there's sort of like the box area where there's like a keyhole, and that is into the sandstone.
All right, Alohomora. Burnham knows that spell.
And this, but this has like a dude in front of it, right?
Yes,
Knock,
there is a
knock,
dude
knock.
on either side of it.
And,
Yeah, so
and
opening
knock
is the
is
mistake.
super loud.
Knock does make it's called knock for a reason.
I didn't say knock. I said Alohomora.
That's
knock.
called knock in
Oh.
D&D.
Lame.
And it's super loud.
Yeah.
It opens lock shit.
Yeah.
What's the gate made out of?
Iron.
Iron,
I
solid
can
iron.
dimension door us in there.
Except that it wouldn't work.
Oh yeah, it probably will not work because
Yeah.
these guys aren't dumb.
'Cause
Yeah,
they're not
that's
it.
true. I have.
I think the second you cast invisibility, people go no, but that's my opinion.
I could send class feature like in there. Like it can slip through a gate.
You
It
gotta
could find
activate.
like a single book, and then I don't really have a plan past that point.
You want scrolls.
Cause a distraction and then have class feature come back.
Oh,
with
this is
the
helpful.
thing.
Guys, we have visuals. Check it out.
It's a gate.
I mean,
Okay.
if class feature can go in there, get a thing, and then bring it back, there can just be a distraction, and class feature can just abscond with a few
That's
scrolls.
true. And then we could just like bolt.
Jake,
And
do you
then
think Class
leave.
Feature could fit through one of the things, the gate?
Class feature could maybe squeeze through. Stash could definitely fit through.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. If Stash can just go in, then
Still need a distraction to get the guards to move away.
yeah, we can start with that. But I could make like an illusion of Stash after he starts it off, and have him like an illusion running around in non-Euclidean
Can-
ways, and
Can Koros make Stash invisible?
Yes, I could do that.
I don't know about that. He's not an animal. He's a familiar.
Does anyone know
Yeah,
unseen servant?
I don't know Unseen Servant.
Well, my point was that class feature is already invisible.
I do
So
have.
if we were going to send 2 invisible creatures in,
You're like between 2 shelves of books against the wall. 2 dudes
Oh, wait.
sitting on either side.
Is there a window on the other side of the gate, like in that accesses the restriction section?
Yes, but it is barred.
But could Stash fit through there?
Yes.
Oh, Stash can then just throw scrolls out the window.
Pass the scrolls to class feature if there's a window. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's easy. We don't even need magic. We just need the distraction.
and a rock or something to break the window, but yeah.
Huh.
It's
Oh,
like
is it window?
barred, right?
Yeah, it's open. It is an open archway with iron in it.
It's open. That's
It is
what's
not glass.
And that's just open to outside.
Yes.
okay. Never
It's just
mind.
like-
Actually, new plan.
New
Yeah.
plan, better plan.
Both familiars can go inside. Someone can turn me invisible, and I will wait outside that window with maybe a bag of holding or something, and just collect scrolls until we're done.
Until we're caught. Okay, sounds good to me.
I have to ask, did we, after Theo walked up and talked to that guy, are we all just like huddled around in a circle, like watching him and like
Obviously
whispering about
scheming.
this?
No, you guys are elsewhere, right? Like,
Yeah,
Okay.
we've
And
got our-
also, we don't.
We
need to
went
be
we
huddled
went next
up.
door to Agma's House of Knowledge and Chicken and Waffles.
No, wait. We said it's pretzels and beer and something. There's something
chicken and
else.
waffles.
I live.
Well, I'm getting chicken and
Last time we
waffles.
get a waffle
I
too.
love the knowledge.
I mean, we don't need to be huddled though because we have comms.
Well,
So like, we could be in all different places, and I'm like looking at my recipe book while you guys are talking to me.
So that's what I think we should do.
you could keep
Yeah, that
trying
sounds
to
good.
tell them about.
It's an
the
excellent
I think
plan.
the smallest amount of magic and attention we draw, the better.
What's our
Um,
exit route? What do we do after
Alright.
this is done?
let me. I've drawn a bit of map over here. I will sort of share it a bit more.
You're George Clooney breaking down the plan.
All right, so here's the big old, I throw that, but like in the corner, see where I drew this map a little bit?
Yeah.
All right, so this little room is where the scrolls are kept. And that's, whoop, it's hard to do backwards and upside down. That's where the gate is, and the mage is standing in 2 bookcases there. This whole chunk is just basically mirror imaged on the other side. All right.
Okay.
There are, these little shapes are windows that go out. Over here is where the fire escape is. You can sort of see that over there. There's just like a door out here that goes to a fire escape. And then sort of the back of where the library is over this edge. Then over here, where I drew this big old curve, is like there's this like big, it's like an open area that like connects like 3 or 4 levels of the whole thing in this big open staircase area. You've definitely been to like a library like this before. Like Lily, the library at UW was like this. Libraries at old colleges are always like this. Like there's a big open staircase that connects to the levels. So that's kind of the shape. So your 2 main exits from here, which is in the middle, would be going over here to the main staircase or going over here to the fire escape.
Fire escape.
So, as a monk, I can run on vertical surfaces
Horizontally.
Come on.
Vertical. Okay, yeah.
and also liquids.
Right.
Wait, what?
But that's
So
not
you're
important.
literally Jesus?
I've been able to do this since level 9, and I just have forgotten.
So
Extremely
You swim
normal
on
class.
land.
All that stuff when we had to like climb the walls of that. Yeah, I didn't need to do that.
He's not literally Jesus, but Jesus was definitely at least a level 13 monk.
level 9.
Wow, is that really all you need for all that?
All you need. I can also, as long as I don't end my turn on it, it's cool.
So
And I can move 180 feet around.
yes, so you could absolutely, from the fire escape, run along the walls in like a Neo run, and then sort of come down and stop right onto the bars of the window. Yes, you could. That is absolutely doable.
So I think someone should make me invisible, give me the bag of holding. I'll go there, and the familiars can just pass me stuff while you guys make a ruckus.
all right.
Okay.
And at
What's our
some
ruckus
point,
gonna be?
I'll leave.
Ooh, let's argue about the better kind of Thargassian stew.
You
Yeah,
can.
I
Oh,
think
oh, can I give you my bag of holding, and then Snatch can just like Stash.
Climb
Sorry,
out of the
can just
bag of holding and through the window.
yeah, just yeah, or yeah, that too. But also just jump back in when he's done, because then he'll be invisible with you because it's on your person.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right.
Initiate plan.
All right. I will make Nadam invisible.
I'm gonna grab a bunch more cookbooks
How long does
from
that last
the
for?
Targassian cookbook section to
Minutes
assist with
per
this
level,
quest.
maybe?
Yep. Koros, give me a stealth check.
Of course,
Oh,
are
if
you
you
openly casting magic like a moron?
Look, I'm really stealthy, okay?
He's
We're
being
in a
stealthy
library.
about it.
That was pretty good.
Quiet.
I still need a
You-
stealth check. All right, there we go. 19.
I made one.
Yeah.
You have an hour, Nadam.
All right, let me roll their perception. Do. They rolled a 4, so you're good.
Nice.
They don't
Um,
notice
I
Nadam vanishing.
I have grabbed multiple books on Thargassian stew making, and
Okay.
also what was it? The style you said that was competing? Silkian or something?
What? Oh, Selenaean.
Selenay. I grab a couple on that too.
All right, so you've got the Selene 3-fish stew, which is cream based, and the Thargassian 3-fish stew, which is tomato based.
Which one do you want to argue for?
Yes.
Okay.
I would like to get into position, taking my time to get there so
You're-
I can be sneaky.
Right next to the door to the emergency exit. It's not like there's an alarm because this is D&D, but
It's a spell.
that is a spell.
It's called alarm. There's a sign that says alarm has
There-
been cast on this door.
It's actually an amazingly good idea.
Hey, just so you know, this is an emergency exit. Alarm has been cast on this door. If you open it, it will go off.
That would be great.
Hey,
but
that could actually be that could be a really good distraction.
that is fortunately not the case.
Oh.
Cool.
So-
I'm waiting. I'm ready.
You're right next to that door so that you could go out and run along the wall and get to the window. Great. Bernam and Koros, where are you?
I think I'm nearby Theo, but I want to just stay out of sight. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm-
Yeah, so are we involved in the distraction is my question. And mostly I ask because, like, a bad thing that would happen is for my concentration to get broken.
Why don't
You
you
can
two
go hide in the corner if you want.
Why
Yeah,
don't
so
you
I'm
hide
gonna...
in like the section on like knitting? I don't know.
That's a place I could go.
You can find
Go-
just like
how
a
to
little
knit with goat fiber.
area
I
with
just
one of
wanna be
those
out of the way.
desks with the walls on the sides
Yep,
for like focused
that's
research.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
you're there.
but it's in the section on knitting, specifically how to knit great crafts
Goat
with
fur.
goat fiber.
No.
Yeah, I knew where you're going with that one.
There's a book. This is actually when I used to volunteer at the library in high school. This is a legit book that got checked out every week, and I had to put back every week, called "Sexy Knits." It's like how to knit.
That's
like a
amazing.
Of course,
bikini
definitely check that
and
book
shit
out.
like that.
That's
Anyway,
hilarious.
it was
Wasn't
I
it
checked that
called?
out, too.
Sorry, wasn't it called Sexy Little Knits?
yes.
Yeah.
How
Yes.
could you walk past that book and not check it out?
Every week, someone had checked it out, and I had to put it back on the shelf. Anyway,
I checked it out.
all right, Koros, you are over there reading "Sexy Little Knits" in your little
Nope.
cubby hole.
Nope, that's not. Nope.
Sexy little goat.
Take a concentration check.
Nadam, you are right by the
All
emergency exit.
extremely normal.
Bernam, you are standing by Theo and Aridin, who are in the Thargassian cooking section, getting ready to argue about 3-fish stew.
All right, cool.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Does Selene have tomato or cream?
Selene has cream.
Okay. Are we ready?
That's just sneezing.
Tomato? Are you nuts? Tomato does not go with fish.
Tomato is the only thing that goes with fish, and so does pepper. Everybody knows that.
I'm sorry, that broke me.
My grandmother would be insulted to know that you tried to make her stew with cream. Look at all my evidence. And I'm like throwing a book in your face. And look at this. And I throw another book.
I return fire with the books.
Burnham chucks a few books over the bookshelf, but still stays out of sight.
This is not the authentic recipe. I don't care if it's how Grandma made it. Grandma was
Oh,
wrong.
authentic! Don't even get me started. Sargassians were eating 3 fish stew before Selenians even knew how to fish.
This is like Get Help.
Kaden finds a cat and brandishes it.
All right. I would like performance checks from Theo and Eridan, and I would like a stealth check from Burnham.
All right.
Not doing it.
That's like my best
We have
check.
advantage because we're
I'm
awesome.
laughing too hard.
Prepare to be wowed.
Performance, eh?
Yeah.
Can't see him. He's too smart.
Set your drop down low.
I know. Can we have advantage because we're awesome?
No.
I was not awesome. I'm laughing. I am perfect. I'm laughing in character.
All right, so Eridan is laughing as he's trying to have this fight about stew. Theo is keeping a straight face and arguing about the stew superiority of the tomato.
Theo is buying his own con.
Are you laughing at my
At
grandmother?
least I'm not dating mine.
Thank you. Thank you.
Burnham, you were able to stealthily throw some books over the shelves in such a way that it will draw the attention of some of the mages elsewhere. Or rather, like the ones that are in front of the room you guys are trying to do. And one of those 2 mages comes away from the gate and around the corner and says, "What's all this about?"
I'll have you know my grandmother is the greatest stew chef in all of Thargassia, and this recipe is the closest I've seen to her recipe, but this absolute fool, this imposter, insists that Selenian 3 fish stew is superior, which is inherently false.
She may be the greatest stew chef in Thargassia, but that's because no one is making Selenian stew in Thargassia.
All right. Quick meanwhile, Nadam, give me an acrobatics check to run across the walls and catch on to the gate.
The run across walls thing is just a thing I can do.
Sure,
Use the
but
check.
it's about landing right on that window.
Of course, yeah.
How much do you overshoot?
And also because I know that your worst you can roll would still succeed.
The worst I can roll in is an 11.
I just want to see you roll big numbers. 24. That's fantastic. Yeah, you come off you burst out into the fire escape. You run along the wall over the tops of the windows that go over the main library, so nobody can see you, and then you arc down and catch onto the grate of the window into the restricted section.
I'm invisible.
Yes.
I hope these guys don't have true sight.
All right, and then that bag of holding.
I hop open the bag and I'm holding on.
Stash climbs right out. As he leaves you, he becomes visible.
Mhm.
And he scurries into the restricted section.
Nothing we can do about that. He's little.
All right. Brandon, will you give me a stealth roll for Stash?
Yeah.
Was class teacher also going to come in that way and also get scrolls, I thought?
No, just Stash. For the viewers, Stash is basically a naked mole rat that lives in
But it's
Burnham's
super
bag of
cute,
holding.
you said.
6 legs.
He's so precious.
He's kind of cute, but his face is weird. His face isn't a naked mole rat. That's just his body with 6 legs. His face is like almost primate. It's strange and kind
Oh, I
of.
liked him, but now I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's definitely an uncomfortable
Nothing about that
kind of
is
thing.
cute so much as horrifying.
It's weird cute. You know what I mean?
Why can't you have like a mini baby red panda? That'd be so much cuter.
You said stealth, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's why.
Holy
Natural
shit.
20. Fantastic.
Nice.
Stash goes right in there, goes right for the scrolls. He takes a quick peek at the gate. He sees the gate is clear, and he starts pulling the scrolls off of the shelf and onto the ground. And then once he's gotten a couple of those onto the ground, he scurries back over and grabs a scroll and crawls up the wall and throws it out the window. Then goes back down and grabs another scroll, and tosses it out the window.
And they just go out the window and vanish.
Nice.
And Stash is very smart. No, he like me. He knows to take the big scrolls because those are the ones with the big spells.
Mm-hmm.
More pages, higher level.
All right. Let's do this.
So big, dusty scrolls. Got it.
All right. Stash is able to get 7 scrolls
Wow.
before
That thief.
the mages who are trying to calm things down sort of start to realize that Theo and Aridin are dragging on this argument not because they feel like arguing, but they're realizing it's a bit of a performance. They start to put 2 and 2 together.
I will say, the moment there are 2 mages at the door, I'm out.
Yeah, and the other mage says, just keep your volume down or I'll hold person on both of you. Quit this.
Where do you stand on this issue? This is the critical
Bam!
argument
Hold
of our
person.
time.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, wisdom saving throw.
Why does Theo think they don't mean it?
I think that Aridin was dumb when he got caught.
This is what happens when you get too into your scheme.
I was very invested. I think I got a little too.
Theo
was-
developed an actual opinion on the question.
I have a -1 in my defense.
Theo
4
was that theater kid.
does not pass. You were instantly...
All right, I look shocked. If that's possible.
Petrificus totalis, you can't move your lips anymore and you fall on the ground.
That's fine.
And he said, and he looks and he says, "That's better." And he walks back towards the door to go guard it. Nadam, at that point, you say you're out of
that's
there.
it?
Yeah.
That's it? He's just leaving
Yeah.
Theo there? Okay, never mind.
And then the
Well, my
other
brother can
mage,
carry me out.
the other mage who told you where the cookbook section was, says to the other one, "Yeah, but the Selenaean stew is better." And he says, "Don't start this." And he goes, all right.
Is the Selenaean stew the cream-based one?
Yes.
That's the
Okay, good,
tomato-based
'cause
one.
that-
Oh, no.
That's better. Red chowder's gross.
I thought the Thargassian one was the cream one.
Nope, Thargassian is tomato-based.
Oh, okay.
3 fish stew.
Yeah.
Got it mixed up.
C for Selenay, C for cream. It's very easy to remember. T
Yes,
for
well, when you
Thargassia,
put-
T for tomato.
Oh god, Theo's read the book.
Brandon, go
And-
find
and,
a good random spell generator website and give me 7.
All right.
You can do that in the background.
Theo,
you are
does-
Petrificus totalis on
Yeah.
the ground.
I figure that Aridin can just pick me up in that form and carry me out.
Sounds good.
Like I was his class presentation and he's taking it home now.
All right.
As I become revisible, I grab some bad romance novel that's probably kind of inappropriate and play into the Dragonborn stereotype and just start reading it. So I look A, natural, and B, like no one wants to talk to me.
Perfect. Mission accomplished. You have your 7 scrolls.
We outie.
Yes, I think we should bail before we start more dumb shenanigans.
I agree.
Though that actually went off decently well, all things considered.
Hey. We're not out of the building yet. You can't say that. It's a jinx.
Yeah, but mostly I meant you getting paralyzed is always aces with me.
Oh, stop.
I get bored with the book. I put it back. I make my way out of the building, separate from my friends.
Excellent.
Yeah, I have also still not left, and I will leave, I guess, last.
Great. You all, Aridin is able to sort of drag Theo out of there and get him over his shoulder. And bring him out. And a few people give him strange looks, and they just say oh, you got drunk,
He kind of mouthed
went
off to a
like
mage
this.
and they held person him, and now I'm bleeding.
yeah.
They're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's what happens.
Able to make it out.
He tased you.
He tased him, bro. And you all are able to make it out of Ogma's House of Knowledge with your 7 scrolls unscathed. Well done.
Very nice.
What you're able to put together, Nadam and Bernam and Koros, because you guys are the ones planning the heist, is that because magic is so restricted, they didn't really have any anti-magic protections.
Right, because they would just never have expected it.
Right.
Makes sense. Clever,
Nice.
clever. Just as I thought would be the case.
We should just be criminals.
I can tell you from experience, being a criminal is actually pretty fun, and it works out okay.
All right.
Crime pays a little.
It actually pays pretty well if you're good at it.
Shockingly not convinced. Shocking. All right. Yeah, I guess we get back on the horses and keep heading.
We ride past the middle of the town where there's
Is there, like,
Darestan Square, and they're like, and this is where we would put our instant fortress if we had one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there like a statue of the Darestan in the city or something, like a big bronze?
No, any statues to the dragons would have been torn down when the dragons were defeated.
Is there a bar called Darestan's Entrance Fortress with like lots of drunken dragon statues in it making fun of him?
Sure.
Great.
Glad we settled that.
Good.
If
Cool,
there
we
was
can
like
leave.
a font or something that I could put a donation in to be like, thanks, bro, I would have, but I think there's not.
So, sorry about your fortress that we stole.
I mean, I know dragons like burying stuff, so I guess when I get outside of the town, I can just bury a piece of gold in the ground and just be like, thinking of you, man.
Why do you believe dragons like burying stuff, Theoden?
You bury your shit. I feel like it's totally normal.
That's not...
The
No.
one time we met a dragon, she did lead us underground. And I found this cool sword there.
Oh, that's right.
All
We
my
pissed her
evidence
off.
points to dragons like to bury stuff.
Dragons don't like to...
Yeah, but
like,
you guys are
I
basically
guess
squirrels, right?
some do, but like black dragons like to be underwater, and silver dragons like to own a bar or something.
I feel like it's reasonable to say that if something is underwater, it's buried.
No.
And if someone's in a bar, aren't they buried under their troubles or heavy drink?
Yeah, metaphorical burial.
Allow me to add expertise. A hole in a wall is not buried, because that's a cave, and caves are not buried
That's a good
unless
point.
they're caved in. Dragons live in caves. Dragons don't bury things.
There we go.
I feel
Well,
like
not all
some
dragons
dragons
live in
live in
caves.
places that are not caves. My
All
worldview
dragons
allows
love
for
a castle.
non-cave dwelling dragons.
Do any
You're
dragons
making
build
Jake's
nests?
face hurt. I feel like we're hurting Jake. We have to stop.
The Dom
Okay.
says green dragons do.
All right. Is there anything else anyone would like to do in the city of Darestan before you depart for Azai?
No, because we just stole magic and we're freaking the fuck out. I'd like
I don't
to
think
leave
I don't
ASAP.
think we need anything here.
All
Might
right.
as well
Anything else we
leave
need,
town.
we'll find it.
Brandon, did
It's
you figure
okay.
out what those spells are?
I figured out about half of them. Sorry.
Great. Oh, no worries.
I
No rush.
I didn't find a generator. I just rolled a bunch of numbers and I'm counting.
That's good.
Counting 178 spells.
That's
to see
actually
if it-
psychotic, but
All right. No
No,
worries.
it's good.
When you have that answer, let us know. All right. Cool. You guys leave the city quickly, get your horses back on your horses, and continue to travel north. You pass through the
Sword.
town of Tristram. You pass through the town of Longdale. You pass through the town of Black Hallows. And
I want to know. Sorry, at each place we go, if there's something that's like a local delicacy, or like a local brew, or like a local flower, or whatever. I'd like to be
You'll see the world's
Anthony
biggest
Bourdain?
ball of yarn in Longdale.
Can we get Theoden a world's longest Longdale t-shirt?
I would
No,
because
because I want it for me. because I want to make a gift basket for the emperor.
of like
Crap.
This
Tacky merch.
This
tourist
is shit that
his
you
own
control.
empire.
I need some knickknacks.
No, like if the place is famous for saffron, right? Saffron's expensive, it's hard to get, it doesn't grow a lot of places, right?
Nadam is
Your
gonna let
Majesty,
Theoden.
We've brought you this 2-week-old tomato chowder.
I said herbs and mead, which both keep. So at least I thought of a gift. You guys thought of nothing.
And then there's the t-shirt and the picture of Theoden after he ate the 12-pound ham in under 30 minutes.
The artist painted it onto the shirt for him.
Yeah, Theoden looking like sick.
He painted from the bottom up, so at the end, Theoden's head is.
Oh.
Ooh, those are some good spells.
There's some interesting ones.
Color
I've
Spray,
got 2 of them.
Crown of
Color Spray is
Madness,
actually a great spell.
Phantasmal Force, Summon Lesser Demons,
You are not
Mordenkainen's,
allowed to cast.
Mordenkainen's Private Sanctum, which is one that you guys wanted. You were just talking
Yeah.
about wanting that one. Rary's Telepathic Bond? I don't think I know that one.
That's
Is
so
Telepathic
good.
Bond the mind link that we
I
had
think
from
so.
Debbie?
And Telekinesis,
it's
which is
really
a
good.
great spell.
So you're not allowed to expend any of those. You have to add them to your book.
You have
course.
plenty of time to add those all to your spellbook.
I don't know if I have the
I have a
money.
question about magic items.
Yes.
We have the rings that we got from
Irina's
what's her
mom.
face's name? Irina's mom. But we still kind of need one more. We've been like careful about what we say in front of each other and like trading the ring.
No,
when we
you
need
got the
to.
No, we
second
got
one.
a second one in the morning.
Oh, you got everybody has one and we're good.
We don't all have them, but the 2 that were vulnerable have them.
Bernum and Nadam each have one. You guys are safe.
Oh, all right, cool.
All right.
Related. That's not the kind of thing we could find in any of these places, right?
No, these are small towns. In Daristan,
All right, no,
you might have been
sure.
able to, but
It's all right.
all right. So you travel north. You travel through Tristram, Longdale, and Black Hallows. When you arrive in Telmar Hall, by this time it is starting to snow because you have passed through fall and entered into winter. And from Telmar Hall, the road splits, and it heads west to Isik, or east to Azai. What you all told me last was that the destination was Azai first.
So we can talk to the Emperor because in a Sikh, the only powerful person there is Mr. I hate you guys.
Vizarin
Sure.
Devere.
Yes.
Mr. Blue, I hate you
what?
too.
On that note, knowing that Koro says that dream spell shit, I would like to check on girlfriend, and I'd also like Eridan to check on Queen Lady.
Why don't you check on Queen Lady? She didn't give me her brain number. I don't want to call her unsolicited.
What if I just want
She's
to
a
know if
useful
she's following
strategic
through on her
resource.
stuff.
So, you, Theo, during this trip, let me consult my calendar real quick.
Excuse me a sec, guys.
Do we know what day it is on the dragon calendar?
I know what day it is.
Or
in
have
the
we still
Azemar.
not added that yet?
I haven't added that yet to my calendar
cool.
conversion chart.
It's nesting day during the Green Dragon month.
Anyway, I don't have written down
There is a Green Dragon
exactly when they arrive.
I don't know. Think I don't know what nesting day is?
So,
Eridan, that's kind of
Theo,
weird.
a few different times you chat with your girlfriend via dreams that Koro sets up for you. And when you're in Telmar Hall, or shortly before you arrive in Telmar Hall, you get word. You're talking to your girlfriend, and she says, and I'm so glad that you guys sent Irina ahead. She's been super helpful and nice. It's been great to see her again.
Little red
Done,
flag waving.
Yeah, I explain all that shit. And I'm
And
like,
she's
does
like-
Irina have that scratch on her eye?
She says, yeah, she told us that it was happened from a fight with some mages.
Yeah, so she's an evil copy of Irina from when we were in that evil temple, and you can't trust her, and she's super evil, and I actually thought she was dead and hope to never see her again, so she probably is going to try to use you against me.
You don't know any of
Well,
that.
do you actually think that she's evil? Does Theo actually think that she's evil?
Yeah, we're going to rewind right there. You're mixing your player and character knowledge. You have player knowledge that this one is evil. Your character knowledge is just that she was a regular copy of Irina and that she ran away.
But she ran away with Pharaoh.
Yes.
Yeah, but we don't know
Okay.
anything about what happened to Pharaoh.
Alright, no, don't tell her that. She ran away with Pharaoh. I really wanted to try and help her, but she was dying the last time I saw her. Something was wrong, and all the clerics couldn't help her, and I think she was getting really depressed.
And it is weird that she's lying.
And and I find it odd that she would lie to you about that.
That is.
If she
very
hasn't brought it up,
strange.
maybe don't confront her about it.
I won't. I will see what else I can find out.
Yeah, just don't be weird around her though. But you're gonna be awesome. Just keep playing it cool. You're the best.
And she says, I know how to suss out secrets. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Great. I feel super confident now. Great, wonderful. Cool.
All right. So she basically tells you that, like, Irina's hanging out and being normal, like, over the next couple days. And just, like, you know, making sure that, like, everything's all right. And she's spending some time with Emerald and with Emerald's boss, Zavarin. And that she hasn't been able to, she hasn't confronted her. She's been keeping it, you know, like everything fine, but she hasn't been able to figure out what Irina's plan
And
is.
I mean, Esmeralda knows that Emerald like hates us now, right? And is kind of crazy.
You told her that, but she's like, Emerald seems to be acting normal, and he's been, you know, keeping us safe and protecting us from Vizerin. So
No, I understand that, and people are complex and not just perfectly good or perfectly evil. You know that better than anybody. Your history with Rudolph Van Richten, so you know. Hey, I'm not trying to bring up ghosts of the past. I just, you know.
no, I dreamed about him yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. It was,
Anything new?
no, the same. I've had the dream before. He was
Bobby, there's a cat in the mic.
we argued, and then he ran off, and then I couldn't stop him and his tiger from killing the Vistani. It's the same dream I've had many times.
I am sorry these visions continue to haunt you. I'll see what I can do about
Can't help
that.
but feel like it's my fault. Like I could have done something
I
to
know
stop him.
I know that it's not.
If only I had the right words, he would have listened to me.
Sometimes we meet people who are like mountains, and mountains cannot be moved by sweet words. There was nothing you could have done. Airden, did you want to talk to Queen Lady just to see what's
Sure.
up?
Sure.
I feel like it's just the fastest way to get
One of
information.
these
Yeah, no, I can ask her. I can ask her how she's doing, what's up, and if she'd be willing to help more.
So
Dream operator, please hold for the queen.
Moxinare. Mox.
Mountain Mikes, yes, redirecting.
I got an extra large pepperoni pizza.
No.
I'm dreaming about an extra large pepperoni pizza.
Wait, do you deliver to Longdale?
I mean, yeah, it's a
Sorry,
dream.
no,
We can
Miss
deliver wherever you
Longdale's
want.
outside our range.
It's a dream.
It's only really perfect because of the headset, Bobby.
Yeah, so you feel yourself inserted into Princess Moxinare's dream, and in her dream, she is standing in front of the people of Isari in Orum, actually in Omu, standing over a large crowd of people, and just announcing to them all the progress she's made and how great everything is, and they're all cheering.
Like, we love you. You invented roads.
Yeah.
I'll walk up to her and be like, "This is nice."
Aaron, what?
It's complicated. I've got weird friends. How you doing? This thing seems to be going well for you.
I haven't thought about you in months. Why are you in my dream?
Really?
Wow! Cold shit!
Owned!
Maybe you've been thinking about me so much that you didn't need to dream about me.
No, I'm pretty sure that when you just left and then didn't write and then didn't bring back any news and just disappeared.
I've been in a war. You knew where I was going.
I've been busy trying to figure out how to get the materials to make road. This is really hard.
Yeah. Ruling is kind of complicated. I thought maybe someone might have tipped you off about that before. But you'll get the hang of it. Just keep plugging away. Get some books. Maybe, be a little bit nicer to people.
We're gonna
Just
get
trying to help
books,
you
and
out.
then the image of Omu sort of falls away. And you see an image of where her life is at right now. And you see that she is living in the slums in Orem. She's got like this teensy little place. She's making money as she's like washing clothes in the river for some rich people, and that's how she's making her living right now.
This is less nice.
Oh my god.
What happened? I thought you were gonna make deals with all those really important political influence people that you got hooked up with at the meeting. Remember the meeting?
No one would listen to me. And then I had to sell my necklace and my rings and my nice clothing. And then I ran out of money, and then I had to start working for whoever would pay me. And that's where I'm at now.
Man, I should really stop abandoning girls. Stuff seems to really go downhill fast for them after I leave. At least you're not
Not
dead.
that one.
Could be dead. So what's the plan? Do you have a plan, or are you just surviving?
I'm surviving and taking care of my younger brother.
What happened to that lady who was supposed to serve her eternally until death?
Yeah, she was waiting at the city, and I told her about it. Did you not go check up on the lady?
It takes money to get to the city. To travel through the jungle. It's really dangerous.
Yeah, no, I've done it. It sucks. Mosquitoes can get you.
That's why you need roads.
Yeah. Well, I'm working real hard on making things nice over here. So maybe pretty soon you can come, this way and have some money, and that would be good. Do you really send you some?
God. So embarrassing.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh my god, she's the worst.
At least this is just a dream. At least, Eridan, you don't really know where I'm at.
That's true. That's completely true.
It's a dream. Yes, send me all the money in the world. That'd be so great. I'd love to be a queen again.
Oh, now you have to do it.
Fuck it. Send me money.
Yeah. Well, if only I were real, right?
No, make her promise to do something good with it.
So the thing is, I'm working over here. There's a lot of complicated stuff going on, as I said, challenging. You have something that I don't, which is any kind of claim to anything. And I feel like people over here really value that. They're really into the old money, It's like East Egg. Do you ever read Gatsby? Would you be agreeable to me tacking your name on stuff if I was hey, you work for me, I've got this queen that'll help you out? Because I feel like it would carry a lot of clout,
This is the weirdest dream I've had in years.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't have drank that mysterious, elixir that weird person with the brown bag on the street gave you.
Whatever you want, Eridan.
Okay, great. Cool, just want to get your permission. Thanks.
I don't care. My name doesn't mean anything anymore.
Buck up, pal. One day it will. I pat her on the back. Extra hard. Go back to your nice dream. That was way better than this. This sucks. It smells here.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do that. Maybe I'll just wake up.
That's
And
good too, I guess.
She wakes up and the dream ends.
That was fucking depressing.
I feel like you put faith in her and then she just kind of sucked ass really hard.
What would be a reasonable amount of money to send her?
0 because she sucks.
But think of it this way, Theo. It'll really fuck with her head.
No. I'm all for the prank. You know me. You just gotta sell me on the prank. But really,
Are
she
you
sucks.
gaslighting her? Are you gonna send her a letter full
She's
of with like some
Wait,
money
wait.
in it, and it's
Hey,
gonna
wait,
say
wait,
like
wait,
it
wait.
doesn't matter. This is all
Wait,
a
wait.
dream.
We have multiple days of travel where not that much is going down. You can go to her dream a different night and be like, "So I'm sending you money. What will you do with it when it gets there?" And make her promise to do something good with it.
But
In the
why?
dream.
Yeah, I
In the
don't use
dream.
those spells or anything.
And then
Just,
when you send her the
often as you
money,
need.
no, when you send her the money, be like, "This is gonna be great going towards that blah you said you needed it for."
No, here's
Better
what I'm gonna
use-
do. I'm gonna send her. I don't know. Jake, help me approximately. Like, how much like petty cash would I have? Like in the party, would I have
You gotta
like?
talk to Lily. She manages the finances.
How much do you want to send?
I don't know. It's like 25. Reasonable.
Yeah.
Well, you could look at living expenses in the player's handbook and then make a guess.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do number, and then I'll look it up later and find a reasonable number. And I just literally want to send it to her with a note that just says, "From the man of your dreams."
So speaking of strange, fortuitous dreams, Koros, I think we should do that idea we had earlier.
With the Emperor?
With the Emperor, maybe sending him dreams of ill portent should he not intervene.
Give me a sec. You know what I now wish I'd asked?
Wait,
Back
Nadam,
to
you can do
library.
costumes, but you can't disguise, right?
No,
You should do right. I thought you can do costumes, but not disguises.
correct.
Can you costume yourself to look somewhat like Rooseball before you go into the dream?
I can just do that in the dream. It's a dream, Theo.
He's right on this micro point and tragically wrong on the overall macro point, which is elves don't dream.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. I was
What
going to
about
contact
advisors?
Emerald a long time ago, and then I realized that, and I was sad.
Does he have any not-elf advisors?
Darn.
We would have to know of them, specifically as individuals. We could
Right.
contact Vizerin, but for obvious reasons, I'm not going to do that.
Please don't do that. I
Vizerin
feel
is
like
a
you'll like
drow,
come out of it
so-
and you'll not be able to talk or
Oh,
something.
no, I can't do that anymore. Yeah, but that would be a good thing to find out. Does he have like a court astrologer or some dipshittery?
Because if he
Probably
does,
does.
that's what we're going to do.
It's not something you know about.
It
But
isn't. That's the
when
problem.
we get there, we'll find
We gotta
out.
find
We'll
out.
start driving him
All right.
crazy.
Aridin, I feel like, I mean, off the top of my head, I feel like if you want to spend like 100 gold, that's probably really easy.
Okay, I'll do that. Why not?
A lot
We
of
have a
money.
lot of money, guys.
It's got a really shitty life right now.
In Telmar Hall, you were able to find a branch of a dwarven bank that will transfer the money for you. It's Western Union, Dwarven Union.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Alright. Great.
They will send
Just
and
wire
spell
it.
the money directly.
What's the name?
That's kind of amazing.
Dwarven Union.
What's the processing fee for that?
They charge a percentage. It's like 1%.
Oh, it's pretty reasonable.
That one gold tip
Transmutation
failed.
fee.
It's the alchemy fee.
Alright, cool.
All right. So from Telmar Hall, you head east. You pass through another place called Uvadel's Hold, another place called Eagle's Keep, and then you arrive in the city of Azai. It's cold and snowy above ground, as it's early winter. And you find that when you arrive at the city, it is very empty. Not a lot of people outside and around. You very quickly discover, as you come into the city and riding into the city, there are these massive holes in the ground that open up into this massive undercity. Here's some pictures I drew in my notebook. I didn't draw the rest of the city, so imagine that between these two rivers, there's a bunch more buildings around here. But this, in the middle, there's this massive, massive tower in the center of the city. And these sort of...
Is this a bird's eye view?
These flower
Okay.
petal shapes around it are massive open holes into the undercity, such that these spaces between them are like bridges over the undercity, and up to the center of the city. There's sort of a line right around the edge of these flower petal things where the city rises up and over the ground as if like a sphere is sticking out of the ground, and that forms ground level for these holes, these bridges, and this building in the center. We're going to zoom way in to the side view. This side view is cut along this line that I've drawn diagonally here. Oh, God, this is really hard to trace a diagonal line. I cut this diagonal line. So from river to river along this diagonal line, so you can see these darker scribbles on the left and right are the rivers. That massive tower in the... Where the fuck is this side view? Oh, there it is. Wait, where's my hand? That's my finger. All right. Massive tower in the center. A bunch of buildings around it. And then this spherical undercity, as if just this giant sphere was carved out of the ground. And the tower extends downward into the center of this undercity. And in the undercity, basically every side of this sphere has buildings protruding from it, coming up from the ground, hanging down from the ceiling, sticking out from the sides. In the center of this undercity, there's this massive glowing sphere that glows this soft blue light over the whole of the undercity. Wait, there we go. You can see where this circle protrudes above ground level. That's where those petal holes are, and the bridges leading up to the center tower. Does this sort of make sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Anybody have any questions about the shape of Azai?
Is there an album by a popular elven folk rock artist called The Shape of Azai?
Yes.
Bobby, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
All right.
That is what Azai is shaped and looks like. As for the visuals of Azai, architecturally, lots of tall towers and pointy ends, white buildings made of this white stone. Think Rivendell-like architecture, but in this massive, massive city. The other thing that when I was Googling that came up with pictures that felt like they were the right theme, it was called... Oh, wait for it. It was from WoW. It was Quel'Thalas.
Oh, Kel'Thalas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, go Blood Elves.
So if you've got that in your mind or you can Google it, that beautiful
What's it called?
city...
Kel'Thalas
Quel apostrophe Thalas. That's the thing in WoW.
Wait.
There's some cool pictures if you Google that of like cities that
It's
sort of
where
have the
Silver Moon
aesthetic-
is.
Oh.
that have the aesthetic that we're looking for here.
Yeah, I see it. That's how you know they're bad guys. Everything's too pretty.
All right.
I have a request.
Yes.
You know how New York is like nicknamed like the Big Apple?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Can we call this like because of the whole spherical thing? Can we call it the Azai ball?
I'm sure humans from other places call it the Azai ball.
The elves of Azai do not call it that, but I'm sure that some humans do.
God, they're so frumpy.
Nobody calls it Frisco.
It's true.
So you guys are here in Azai. You are in the upper city, and it is pretty empty and very snowy up here.
If we see anybody passing by, are they seem like they're in a rush, like on errands or something?
No, it just seems like just really empty. Like when you go to if you're in Washington D.C. or in the city of London at night, and like they're just empty, or night on the weekend, I mean. And like, cause like all the business people just aren't there, and it's just like eerily empty in that part of the city. That's what it's kind of like.
Yeah. Is there anybody we've seen?
Yeah, you've seen some people here and there, mostly high elves.
I want to stop someone and just say, like, excuse me, but where is everyone?
Well, don't you know? It's the time of, it's past descent. Most everyone's in the mid city or the lower city.
Oh, could you just point me in the right direction?
He points down.
You're too kind. Thank you so much.
And he says, "Find a stairwell. They lead down."
No, I was sincere in my
stairwells
two
lead up.
clients.
No, he knows you're sincere. He just like these damn
He's
humans.
sick of tourist humans.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have time to wait for you to die.
All right, well, I'll color spray your face, you asshole. Jesus.
This is why I don't like elves.
All right.
They're bad.
We'll look for a way to go down, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. With a bit of searching, you are easily able to find there are all sorts of places where just like there's an opening in the ground and a spiral stairwell, and it just leads down into the Undercity.
Well, I say we do that until we can figure out where this Emperor guy is, and I still need to get a display thing for my basket.
Yeah. Once you head down into the Undercity, you're able to actually see that the city is sort of divided into 3 segments. There's the upper city, where you just were, the mid-city, where you are now, which is sort of the top half of the sphere, and then the deep Undercity, which is the bottom half of the sphere. You see that now that you're here in the mid-city, there is all sorts of hustle and bustle around. As you hang down there, these buildings basically hang down into the sphere here, and then there's just all sorts of bridges and walkways and balconies wrapping around these buildings and then going across and then up and down, just like kind of like the stairwells in Harry Potter that move. Like there's all sorts of things everywhere to travel up and down and across.
When you're inside, are you like hanging on the ceiling, or is everything upside down? Like, what's going on?
All of the buildings are hanging from the ceiling, yes, and then
I know, but like, if you're inside, are you right side up or are you right side down?
Is Theo asking me or is Lily asking me?
No, Theo's asking the group. Man.
I was gonna say because Lily knows the answer to that question.
I don't know the answer to that question.
Is it like artificial gravity, like you orient towards the floor no matter what?
That's what my question is.
Nadam says you walk on the wall.
Monks, man.
That's cool.
Thank you, Nadam.
Some serious bullshit.
For those of us that obey gravity.
Gravity is a suggestion.
You should
stabled-
try.
You stabled your horses
Ah,
in the upper city when you entered the city.
upside down.
Upside up. Gravity's normal.
Yeah, upside down horses.
And you are now.
It's just a sync tower. I don't know why you're all confused.
Well, they've got to be using magic to support it anyway. Structurally, this makes no sense to me. Aridin, got any ideas?
I don't know. The dwarves kind of blew my mind. I feel like anything's kind of possible with stone masonry
Speaking
and
of
magic.
dwarves and blowing, they also blew up that bridge.
Yeah, true.
They did.
They're working on it, though.
Oh yeah, Rogar the Bridge Breaker.
Oh, yeah.
Rogar
We check in
Bridgebreaker,
with
man.
Rogar and be like, how's that going?
You are below ground and very, very far away. You don't have signal.
I thought we were like out of walkie-talkie range.
So we're down below. Is there a consulate? Well, we should find somewhere to stay first, like our base, where we're gonna keep coming back to.
It's a good call.
You travel around for a bit, and there are a few inns and taverns that definitely seem like they're targeted towards elves or things that just don't seem your style. You eventually find a inn that is catered towards tourist humans visiting Azai.
Can it be called Topsy Turvy?
Sure, it's called Topsy Turvy because humans don't really like this upside downness.
It's called Yui, but it's just the word "in" upside down.
UI. And when you get in there, they've got we've got human food. Get your, hamburgers.
Dude, 3 fish stew.
Three
Or is
fish
it
stew.
like-
and
Is it like human versions of elvish food? It's like an elvish salad, but with a bunch of dressing and meat and cheese.
right, exactly. Yeah. They've
So
got
now it's
they're
good.
sort of in 2 sides, and the one side is just elvish food, but ruined by human proclivities, and then the other side is human food, but made with the elvish materials they have on hand.
So kind of ruined.
right. Either way, you're not having what it's intended to be.
I wonder how pizza with lambus bread crust would taste.
Terrible. You get halfway through and be like, I have to stop.
Through one slice.
You could make lambus bread bagel bites.
I'd be all about
Oh,
that.
that'd be good.
That sounds
Dude.
like human food made with elvish
That's our
materials.
new. That's how we're gonna make money in this place, guys.
So yeah, let's I sort of huddle up with my human friends and dwarf friend and goat friend, uh, and say, so maybe at first, to not draw attention, let's ask around about things like consulates and the palace and stuff, as if we're tourists who just want to go see it.
It's a good idea.
It should help that Theo is wearing his Longdale t-shirt.
No, I'm not. It's a gift for the Emperor.
You're not giving him your Longdale t-shirt. You look great in it.
No, I'm making him a gift basket of cool goods.
When you
With
go
the
up to
Longdale t-shirt you won for eating that ham?
Maybe
It's not
he
even the right
wants it-
size. It's like an extra large.
when you go over to the concierge to ask about the locations of things, welcome to Uwe, also known as Topsy Turvy, where we got all the human food that humans would want, all the elven food that you can try if you're a human. How can I help you? And you see he's got fake human ears on.
Oh no.
They're like
Oh,
really big to
no.
go over his pointy ears, and they've got this big
This
curve.
poor guy. Oh.
I heard that there's a really amazing consulate here. Is that true? I'd love to see one. I've never seen one. What's a consulate?
You mean the
can't
tower?
feel too
I
dumb.
like look at the dom and I'm like, yeah, I'm doing really well, right?
You mean the Emperor's Tower? That's a-
I'm like, yes, we've got a few things we'd like to see. You know, the palace, the Emperor's Tower. If there's a consulate, you know,
Yeah,
historical sites.
I don't have any consulates. Who do we have a consulate for? Azemar is everyone. Like,
Mm.
Look into the
Azemar
Azemar
is
school
everyone.
system.
yeah, just don't go below the hemisphere of the Undercity to the deep Undercity. Just stay in the mid city and you'll be fine. The tower's that way, and he points out the window. The tower's massive. You can't miss it. It hangs down from everywhere. You can see it. It hangs down into almost the center of the thing, and the point just almost reaches that big blue glowing sphere in the middle of the
Awesome.
thing.
Does it
And
really? Does the Emperor really live there?
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like if a tower towers, then this should be called a droop.
I say, anything else you recommend us seeing? It's our first time in Azai, and you can give your real recommendations. You don't have to say what's on that little piece of paper back there.
And he goes, hold on, my boss is scrying. You should visit, and he lists off like a bunch of like shitty tourist shit, like just.
Yeah,
They're partners.
it's probably yeah.
And then he goes,
Did he
"All right,
stop?
the place you want to look for is called the Potable Hole.
Portable hole.
It's a caravan. It's one cart, and it moves around the city. And so it's in a different place every night, and you can check their Twitter to see where they're gonna be.
Is that where they send like a spectral bird to come tell you?
Azai's hottest club
Literally,
is
it's
called the
called
Potable Hole.
And
It's
basically, he
got
describes to you,
everything.
it looks like it's a single cart from a caravan, but it's bigger on the inside, and that's about as much as he can describe to you.
I slide him like the biggest, fattest tip,
How much?
You
like
can give him. You want to give
like
him a
a-
plat?
like a gold.
No. You can give him a plat if you want.
A
I don't wanna
gold is
give
an
a plaque.
insanely big
Girl.
tip.
A gold
Yes.
is an insanely big tip.
Yes.
All right, cool. I'm gonna decrement it.
Because his job is such trash.
It is trash.
And I'm just like acting like a rich person who doesn't know what money is. How much should I tip? I don't know, one of the green ones. I give him just monstrous tip, and then we leave. Or I go.
All right. So yeah, you
I
give
get
the
one of
tip
those
and you head
instant
out.
sketch cameras.
All right. Are you all heading towards the tower?
I mean, we want to talk to the Emperor. Do we have any other plans besides
Wait,
just
we
walk
wanted
in
to
and
set
say
up a
hello?
home base before we talk to the Emperor. So do we want to check
We
out?
did. We got rooms there, didn't we?
Oh, I thought you said we want to go to the potable hole instead.
That'd be cooler.
You've
Yeah.
got rooms. You've got rooms at Uwe Topsy Turvy for now.
Ooey's topsy-turvy.
Uwe's Topsy Turvy. Yeah. For now, you can always move.
If we find the potable hole, we'll go there.
All right.
But if we find it and go back and get our stuff, we might have lost it. Damn.
We'll figure it out.
All right. What
I believe in us.
Is there? Okay. I need to find like a nice basket.
You want a fruit basket.
I'm still not sure the whole gift basket approach is like.
I
He's
feel
an
like
emperor.
yeah, but he doesn't get a lot of time to be in all his towns because he's busy being emperor, right? So if like that town is really famous for this pretzel, I feel like he should get to try it, or at least see
I
what
just
shape it
buy
is.
Theoden the nicest basket we pass.
Nice elven-made basket. It's gonna last, a million years.
Yeah, great. And I try to like arrange everything in it, and it looks terrible. And then I like shove it in a dom, and it like flies out the other side. And it looks amazing afterward.
It's all decorated and stuff like. God.
Amazing.
You don't even know where I got the flowers to decorate this thing.
No, it's like Buddy the Elf. It's like you're curling ribbon faster. Like you curled 50 on the time I did one. Like
There.
yeah, it looks amazing. Great. Okay, I feel ready to go talk to the Emperor now.
All right, you've got a fancy gift basket ready to go.
So I think we
This'll
should
do it.
introduce ourselves as ambassadors from the army retaking West Azemar.
That's his
Or-
shit.
Do we
Or-
want to highlight a
I-
fact that there's an army in his territory?
Well, retaking it like dealing with the problem that was his problem.
We
We
are
represent-
representative.
The
We are
Orcs
representatives from the forces defending West Azemar from the
All
Orcs.
right, I like that. We represent the forces defending West Azemar.
That's
good, that's
better.
We refer to Theoden and Aerodin as generals,
Yes, not kings.
not kings or
Kings would
like
be bad.
generals. And
I
we are.
think that can work.
Burnham is a representative from our dwarvish allies.
A scribe
Boros is a goat.
for accounting purposes.
A scribe for
Accountability, I
accounting
mean.
purposes. That's really
Accountability,
it.
not accounting.
I keep forgetting that I'm a goat.
All right.
I think that's good.
You all make your way to the tower, and when you get there, the main entrance that you find is like the tourist entrance, right? Like if you ever gone to the Capitol building in DC, there's like the main stairs that you cannot go up, and then off to the side you can get in line and be in line for like 6 hours and be like, now you get to tour the Capitol building. And so that's what you find here at the tower. They're like, tours of the Emperor's Tower. See the historical Senate building, the founding of the Republic of Azai. Get your own
gonna-
copy of the Davros Laws.
Do they sell like little snow globes of the tower?
Yes, they sell little snow globes in the tower. You can get a copy of the Davros Laws that are signed. You can see the signatures of
Koros-
Zavarin and Varathis. Like,
Ooh, I want one.
Koros and Burnham, do either of you know sending?
No.
I think so, but it's definitely not prepared.
Damn. So we should just message Emerald.
Just be like,
No.
we're in the neighborhood,
We're
want to
all
get a
hate
drink,
us.
or...
Emerald hates us.
Emerald hates us?
No, he just left in the middle of the night. He never said I hate you.
Why does Emerald hate us? Well, I don't
Sometimes
know
we
Emerald.
all
Why
go
does
crazy.
Emerald hate you?
I don't think he does. He just took off.
Nadam, you met Emerald once.
Very briefly.
Jake, I thought, this is really in character. What do we know about Emerald right now?
That he left, that he's not entirely himself, that he's been taking care of Esmeralda and your family in a Seek, and shielding
he
them
was
from
in
Vizarin,
charge.
that he's been working with this other Zavarin person, sort of against Vizarin. That's about all you know.
We know we
I
hear
don't-
using Hydrolon Dark, and then that stuff's weird.
Yes, you
I
do know
don't
that he took
trust
the
him,
Hydron
right?
Dark.
I don't trust him right now.
Could you send Class Feature to go try to find Emerald and be like, hello?
in like
Emerald's not here.
in like the main metropolis of this whole continent.
Isn't Emerald in a Seek, Jake?
Just gonna do like
Oh,
a
he's in
grid
a Seek,
pattern,
you're
or
right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why Emerald got brought up. I was confused.
Emerald is in a
I thought
Seek.
Emerald. Yeah. Okay.
Then how the hell do we get in?
I figured I'd be like, hey, Nadam, do you know somebody you could talk to? Are there guards blocking off a main entrance?
Yes, there is some sort of main entrance. You do see a few nobility-looking elves come and go that way.
Dignitaries.
that sort of thing, nobility, and they go, they show they show their credentials to the guards and are let in to the tower.
We could just walk up to the guards and try to bluff.
Nadam, you can
Just walk up to the dignitaries and knock them over the head and take their credentials.
No, well, we'll save that one.
That's
All right.
aggressive.
I could maybe. Probably shouldn't use magic.
Let's try Nadam's talking game.
We'll just walk up and ask.
Oh, all right.
Oh wait, I can do my influence shit if all goes to shit.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah. Wait, who's the most charming? I feel like my brother's pretty charming. Oh, he's not as charming as me.
I'm
no one's as charming as me except for this goat. This goat is very charming.
Charming.
Hey, charming goat, why don't you go charm that guy into letting us in? You'd be the greatest of all time if you could pull that off.
I'm proficient in charming.
I see what you did there.
So,
All right.
I will go with Poros, and we will go talk to the guard, and I will assist Poros in convincing him that we are a legit delegation.
All right, so you go up to the guard. The guard is in this red and gold armor. He's got like a Roman head thing,
Can I assist the negotiations by looking very sullen and serious and occasionally scrawling on my tablet?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
You walk up to this guard, and he says, "Papers, please."
That's going to be a problem, I'm afraid. We do not have any papers. We are a delegation from a group that is not formally recognized as a sovereign entity by the Empire, but we have an urgent need to speak with the Emperor.
We represent the defenders of West Azemar. General Theoden Eldris and Eridan Eldris wish to speak with the Emperor. At your convenience, of course.
He says, I'll have to elevate this to my commander.
We will wait right here.
He pulls out a little sending stone, and he's whispering into it. He turns away from you to talk into it. And he says, my commander says to take you up into a waiting room. You can potentially have an audience with some of the Emperor's advisors to prove the veracity of your claims before you are granted an audience with the Emperor.
Very generous of you, thank you.
We appreciate it.
This way.
Does it? Yeah, he would be now.
Is it inappropriate to tip this guy?
Yes.
Think so.
Don't tip guards.
And he leads you guys up the stairs and into the tower, where you are let into. There's a large chamber with lots of people going to and fro, and he leads you off to a side room where there's some nice chairs, and there's someone who serves you like tea and biscuits, like elven tea and elven biscuits.
So water and nothing?
Yeah, I was going to say, everything's gluten-free, probably.
Yep.
Elves.
Rice cakes.
And you wait for easily 30 or 40 minutes.
Is his armor that he was wearing, it sounded like it looked really cool. Did it look like it was good armor?
It looked really cool and like it was good armor.
Who thinks we should pass the time by casting visually obvious magic?
Not me.
I think that's a bad idea.
Okay, just checking.
I would like to inspect the room to make sure there's no, holes to pump in poison gas.
Horus Revan Rock!
Why don't you give me an investigation check?
Just sort of looking around the room.
Mm-hmm.
Is there, magazines or something to read?
10.
There's, you don't find any, magical traps or something. It appears to just be a waiting room.
Cursory inspection, nothing weird.
Yeah, Theo, there aren't magazines. There are a few, newspapers.
Is there, a secretary gal or man?
There is a servant who has come in and out and made sure that you guys have as much elven tea, which tastes like water, there's barely any taste to it, and elvish biscuits, which are gluten-free, dry nothingness. Right, this little bit of taste, that's enough for the elves. That's a lot of flavor. They can taste
These
it.
are a little
no-
rich, really.
Yeah.
There's no reception person who's like chilling.
These are the
like,
human biscuits.
Yeah, these are the biscuits we serve to the humans. They're very high in flavor.
They're a little strong for me. I can have like half of one.
All right.
Is this a thing? Like we've all just decided that elves just drink water and eat stale bread? Like
I hate them so
Different
much.
outfit.
where
That's
did
all
this come
Emerald ate.
from?
We have only observed one elf, and I would completely believe that that was all Emerald consumed.
Yeah, but Emerald was a special case.
Next time we capture an elf.
He's our entire sample size.
elf.
Anyway, I'm gonna
Yeah,
groom
yeah.
my goat for under
Baron
this
and I
tower.
agree.
You guys wait
Capture
for
one.
probably an hour before eventually that same servant comes in and says, "The commander is ready to see you now," and leads you out into the hallway, down a hall, and into a large office room where they have pulled up enough chairs for all of you to sit across the desk from this commander. He's got a more formal. It has the appearance of armor, but you can see that it doesn't offer the same protections as armor. It's just sort of a formal attire.
It's like an official tunic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is the one we kill, right? Because he has no armor. That was
Say that out loud.
No,
Of course.
obviously not.
He was thinking it, and we can read his face so well. We know that
If he
Take it-
did,
take it
I
down
would
a notch.
kick him and apologize and explain that he's quite useful.
And the commander. Ooh, wait. Do I have a list of elvish names? Where's my list of names?
He's quite useful and very loyal.
Crap. We didn't put elves in here. Oh no, here he is. I'm Commander Antillion.
That's a really good name.
It's mine. I bow.
Greetings,
Dragon.
Commander.
Whatever a dragon bow looks like.
And he says, "My guard says that you claim to be representatives of a force, a peacekeeping force in West Azemar."
I hand him the letter that's got all the fancy signatures on it from like Rogar and people.
He examines it. He sees the dwarven seal, and he says, "So you represent the authority of the dwarves, then?"
We represent no particular authority. We merely wish to rid the area of the orcs. The dwarves have signed on with the cause, provided a fair amount of material, but the bulk of the force is Azemar.
And he says, "I see. Good. I hate dwarves."
Fair enough.
Does he say that in front of Baron?
Yep.
Wow, this guy is a D.
He says,
Burnham, what's up, man?
I angrily scrawl on my tablet.
"Dirty, ground-digging creatures." Sorry, I'm getting carried away.
I'm gonna like pat Burnham on the shoulder and be like, "It's alright, man."
He says, "It's a good thing Dazak sent them all back to the far west."
I'm like gonna stand up. I'm getting so offended.
Yeah, but how do you feel about orcs?
Gonna pull Theoden right back in his
That's
chair.
fine.
And he says, exactly what are your reasons for seeking an audience with the Emperor?"
We believe we can drive the orcs permanently out of West Azemar with the force of the Azemaran refugees who've been formed into an army if we have support from Azai.
Interesting. All right. And
I
just
believe a stable West Azemar is in everyone's interest.
and just for the record, I'd like each of your names, designations, and affiliations.
Jake's actually holding paper and a pen.
Yeah, sorry, you guys can't
I
see
make-
it. This helps me roleplay.
I do the big fancy dragon name that is very hard to say.
Madame Ilrio Nazir. And you see he writes it impeccably, like spelling correct and everything.
Does he write my dragon name?
I mean, in Elvish script, the nearest, what's it called? Transliteration, right?
Yeah. Well,
But it's like
impressive.
phonetically your dragon name.
Very impressive.
And he says, "I spent some time in the far west.
Did you ever make it up to the dragon holds?
I subdued many dragons."
Got him.
Be like, subdue this one and hit on him. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
I want to kill him really bad. Or rather, I'd like to duel him really bad.
Dude, I'm just waiting for him to start talking about how much he hates goats.
He turns to you,
Right.
Koros, and he says, "And this beast."
Yep, there it is.
Quaros Ravenrock, unaffiliated.
All right.
Wait, do we have to do a Christmas check to remember where we're from? I can't remember.
You can say whatever you want. And he says, "The humans," and he gestures at Theo and Airden.
No,
Generals,
like,
I think you said.
Where are our bodies from? I can't remember.
You're from West
Red-
Azemar.
Yeah, we might as well keep it local planer.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Theoden,
I'm
Eldris.
Aridin. This is my brother Theoden Eldris.
I'm the
Probably-
older brother, obviously. It's incredibly clear.
Heard of us.
Yeah, we're from West Azemar.
And the dwarf.
Burnham doesn't say anything for a few seconds.
Well,
And
elbow
then-
him.
He says, "What? Elf got his tongue?"
Did
Who's
these
this
people have
guy?
an expression where they put themselves in the places humans put cats?
Dazak was known to cut the tongues out of dwarves.
Oh, okay, that's actually really bad.
Dazak is a famous historical elf who, Burnham, you are absolutely familiar with. He slaughtered hundreds of dwarves during those wars that left the dwarves without a king for the last 1,200 years. Dazak was also the one who took the Warhammer of Moradin away.
Okay. And then it disappeared. Do I even know that showed up in the tomb?
Yeah.
Does Burnham
Yeah,
know
Rogar
that?
brought it
Because
back.
that's how Rogar made his claim.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry. Yeah, Rogar brought
Yeah,
it.
No,
Rogar
it's
brought it
cool.
back, and that's why Rogar is the king now. You know that Dazak is the one who killed a bunch of dwarves, took the hammer, forced the dwarves across the bridge, and just straight up murdered dwarves as long as possible until there were so few left that there was no point anymore.
Okay. Burnham's actually going to say, not affiliated with them or with the dwarves back in Azemar, but it shouldn't matter, because none of them will be speaking the use.
And your name?
Burnham.
Burnham.
I don't think we know each other that well, and I don't mean to.
If you mean to have an audience with our emperor, you're going to give me your full name.
Tall Candle.
Burnham Tall Candle. He writes it down. And he says, "Now, if you all wouldn't mind repeating all of that," he rings a bell on the table, and a red mage comes
Good.
into the room
Fucking Zone the Truth.
and casts Zone of Truth.
Burnham's looking away.
I repeat all of that,
Yeah, I don't think I told
whether
a lie.
or not I make my save, and I've got a wisdom of a bazillion.
Anyone who wants to try and lie, give me a wisdom saving throw.
All right.
Us saying from West Azemar, does that constitute a lie?
No, because we are he's asking where is my body from, and it's from West Azemar, and I feel like that's
He
reasonable.
asked where you are from.
I'm resisting just to be petty.
I'm not sure that resists. Let me check my notes.
I'm guessing my 8 doesn't resist.
Really, 18. That's
No,
really
they are
good.
they're DC 18, so you're good.
And then I'm like, I'm not sure it took. You might want to do it again. And then I intentionally fail the next one.
He gives you a look, and then makes the mage cast it again.
And then I intentionally fail it and tell the truth.
All right, Theo and Airden, I need saves from you.
What are we? I'm confused with what.
Regardless of
I
whether or
don't
not
think
you're gonna
we're
lie, I
lying.
need the save.
All right. A wisdom saving throw?
Mm-hmm. All right, everyone has failed. Nadam intentionally, so you are compelled to tell the truth. You repeat. He goes through the list again. He goes to you, Nadam. I think everything you said is truthful, so you repeat what you said.
Everything I
You're
said
good.
was true. I have nothing to lie.
Koros, I think everything you said was truthful as well.
I was brief, but I think I told the truth.
Yeah. Theo, you go to say we're from West Azemar, and what comes out of your mouth is our bodies are from West Azemar.
Cool.
And he says, tell me more about that.
Well, it's really a theological distinction if you think about it.
I'm not talking to you, goat.
C.S. Lewis would say that you are a soul but have a body.
That's true. That's a good point. I say that's where I was born.
And what comes out of your mouth is, that's where this body was born.
It's part of our regional dialect.
That
Comes out of your mouth.
that comes out of like.
I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
I was just joking.
All right. And he turns to Eridan. Care to explain?
I do not care to explain.
It's complicated, and I don't understand it.
It's really over my head.
What comes out is, I understand the basics, but not the details. And he says, we're not going any further until I get my answers. So,
Oh, I gesture and like explain what happened.
Technically, we are from Faerun in a sense. We're also from West Azemar in a sense.
Alex, all I can think of is, let's just say.
and he says,
Let's
I'm
just
not
say,
familiar with Faerun. Where is that?
very far away.
More specifically.
Super far away, kind of to the left.
He
Yeah,
pulls
like, you
out.
don't know.
He pulls out
I
a
don't think
map
Eridan knows how to describe
and
it.
he puts it down on the table of the planet of Azemar.
Yeah, it's not here.
He says, interesting. And he makes some notes. And he says, we'll come back to that. Dwarf. Burnham Long Candle.
Burnham Shartwick from a town called Witherwillow. And if you take any of those words out of context, you say anything other than our announcement, you ever use them in vain, I'll make myself a right tricky pixie of you. So stay back.
Is that a halfling expression?
Maybe.
It's Trixie Pisky, I got it wrong.
No, this is better.
Scottish expression.
Is that technically a lie? Do you have the ability to make him a Trixie Pisky?
No.
It can't be a lie if
what
it's
that
utter
is.
fucking nonsense.
If the sentiment is true, isn't it true?
Oh, that comes out as truth. And he says, and your affiliation. You are aligned with the dwarves? And this new dwarven king?
Well, I owe him a favor. They're
What comes out
friends.
is, yes, I serve the dwarven king.
I serve his bidding, although remotely usually.
And he,
I'm just a bodyguard here. Stop questioning me.
what comes out is like, I'm an integral member of this party. Stop questioning me. All right, and he says, now this information is much, much more interesting. I will have to consult with some of the mages to understand this Faerun,
Are they your supervisor?
and with some of the Emperor's advisors to see what we'd like to authorize here.
I feel like everyone's had to see us and then go to their supervisor. Are they your supervisor?
He says, in the meantime, you can wait in the waiting room. I don't see why you'd have to be under guard. He says,
I'm gonna do a big old goat shit on the couch.
please don't. Do you say that?
No.
Use your.
If you think it and I hear it, I'm like so happy.
I'm gonna take a big old goat shit on the couch.
I say, as advisor to the Eldest Brothers, a native of this plane, and who's been honest with you this whole time, might I accompany you to help speed this up and answer any questions?
And he says,
I can leave my weapons here.
Hashtag persuasion.
yeah, actually, give me a persuasion check.
That was good.
The dragon says he'll leave his weapons.
You can have advantage.
Oh, natural one.
I was
Oh,
just saying
good.
you can have advantage because you have been entirely truthful with him.
12. That's ridiculous. I have a +7.
It's all right. The 12 is
How
enough.
could I roll low?
And he says, yes, I think having you there would probably expedite the answering of some of these questions. Please
Cool.
leave your weapons here.
Bow, whip, sword.
But
And
the
he
weapons
says-
are his hands.
Do you have any weapons remaining?
I'm like, oh yeah, I do. And I pull all the decorative darts out of my outfit that are weapons, and I leave those there as well.
And he says, anything
Pretty
else?
sure that's all of them. If I find any more, I will give them to you later.
I'll let you know.
And that is the truth.
Yeah.
Held.
I'm going to do that.
And he says, I'd like you to just state that you're not aware of any other weapons on your person.
Currently not. Wait, I am aware. And I pull one more dart out, and then I go, now I am currently not aware of any more weapons. I just remembered that one.
Me and Aridin are like staring at the stack of darts, and we're like, what was he keeping those?
There's like 40
Now I
of
don't
them.
have any.
I thought those were weird buttons.
Me too.
And he says, excellent. Come with me. And he,
And I follow him,
and he speaks to the mage and the servant and says, take them back to the waiting room.
happily walking like in front of him or like 10 steps behind him, or like however he wants me
To
to
the
do it.
side.
Whatever he wants.
The rest of you are led back to the waiting room, and as you are put inside, you hear a deadbolt lock.
Ugh, why doesn't the Dom always do the fun stuff?
So tell the truth.
I told
It's
the
not
truth, too.
generally advisable.
And right there is where I'm going to leave y'all this week.
Eating snacks and listening to Elvish elevator music.
No, Koros is gonna take a giant goat shit on the couch.
Not
and I
actually
will
gonna-
approve.
Not actually gonna do that.
I was gonna ask,
Please
does
do.
that guy have
What
shoelaces?
Cora says is, I'm going to take a giant ghost shit on the couch.
Is that the truth? Yes, it comes out.
Next week on
That's right, it
Princes of
does.
Azemar.
Koros
The Eric
thinks
Andre
it's-
show just awful.
All
The
right.
entire intro, like we removed the song.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Please do comment on the video, message the page, and give us your feedback. Let us know what you think. My players, please do message me tonight with your rose, thorn, bud. That is the thing you liked, the thing you didn't like, and the thing you're looking forward to. Lincoln, take it away.
Please tune in on Monday nights for the season premiere of Season 2 of Into the Black. Our players have stopped Harper's plan, but at what cost? And now they're all meeting Captain Bloodglaive at the Overload for a few drinks and a little decompression, but not in the way where you die in space. 7:15, right here, Into the Black. Season
Monday
2,
night.
Episode 1.
And
Monday
if you
night.
didn't watch season 1, it's okay. You don't need to.
Don't worry about it. It's an
There's no
arbitrary
figuring
boundary.
out.
Literally, Monday was the last episode of Season 1. Now, next Monday is the first episode of Season 2. It doesn't matter. It's arbitrary. All right. Thank you, viewers, for watching. We will see you. We'll see you Monday night for Into the Black, and then we'll see you again next Wednesday, 7:15 p.m. Pacific, for the next episode of Princes of Azemar. We'll see you later. Bye-bye now.
What?
Say bye, Bee.
Be well, friends.
That would be very impressive.